Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go over some basic tips and tricks on how to use the internet to find sources. First of all, my first point is that right here, Google. Google is not a source. Google is a search engine. What we use search engines for are kind of like the card catalog. It's how you find the books in the library. The card catalog doesn't give you the information you need. So, when you are citing your source, never cite Google or Yahoo or any of the other search engines. They are not a source. They are how you get to sources. Now, how you use Google can be different based on what kind of information you need. And there are some things that people tend to do that aren't the best way of using this source. So, first, if you type in a search category that is too broad, like my career was teacher. So if I just type in teacher, look at what I get. Are these websites going to give me the kind of information that I need? Really not. This is like Teacher Toolbox, the definition of teacher, and anywhere that teacher shows up. Now, something like what makes a good teacher might be, but it's really not telling me that much about teaching as a career. The other mistake people make is putting in a search term that's too narrow. What do teachers do? Now, something like this, where it's teach.com, might actually give us a good site. But the problem is, if we go someplace like one of the links, ask, if I cite this website, how much information does it give me? It gives me one question. If you have to cite your website every single time you answer a question, you're going to have way more than the 3 sources that you're supposed to have. You're going to have like 15, 20, 25, and each of them only has one bit of information. That's a lot of work to just write down one answer. So, instead of being too narrow and just finding one specific fact, you want a website that gives you lots of information about kind of all the topics we're going over. Kind of like the books we looked at did. So, the next thing, skipped one. The next thing to do is to look up kind of a broad category, not too broad, not just teacher, but teaching career. We want to know about what makes teaching a career. Want to become a teacher? It's giving us that teach.org website again, how to become a teacher. Now, the one I chose was careers in education, training, and library. When you go to that one, you get here, which gives you what do they do, their duties, their work environment, their schedules, how to become one, the education needed, your licenses. These are answering all those questions we came up with. Your pay, the job outlook, what it looks like for that job, and then what your projected employment might be. It also gives you some related careers. So if you didn't like high school teacher and you wanted to do elementary school teacher, here's the link to get to it. So, once you find a website like this that has lots of information on it, you need to cite it. Alright, how to cite a website. In MLA form, citing a website means you need the first name, the last name, the first name of the author, the article title, the website title, the publisher, the day it was published and the day it was accessed, and then the URL. Some of these you may not find, so let's go back to this one and see if we can find it. So, the article title would be high school teachers. Let's see. Do we see anywhere on here? You want to kind of scan and skim, see if you can find sometimes it's at the bottom. It does not have an author. So, we would write no author. Article title would be high school teacher. Website title would be collegegrad.com. The day the article was published. That's usually either at the top, which we don't see, or at the bottom. 2015. So all you don't have the date, all you have is 2015. So just write 2015 there. And the .web, and then the day, month, and year the article was accessed. That would be today's date, whatever date you accessed that article. And then you need to copy the full URL from the top. So https://collegegrad.com, careers, high school teachers. All of that written in, and then you have cited that website. Now, one more tip and trick before I let you go is, a couple things. First, Wikipedia is not a source that I want you to use, because what we want to use are sources that are what's the word I'm looking for? They're trustworthy. They're good sources. Wikipedia is not necessarily trustworthy. Now, sometimes it has really good information, but you don't know who wrote it because it's a crowdsourced website. So, if you go to the bottom, the one way we can use Wikipedia is if you go all the way to the bottom and you go to external links. These external links are sometimes really good websites because they're the websites that people read and then wrote this. So kind of like you're writing a paper, this is them citing their sources. So if you go to either references or external links, and if I go to that external link, this website is a really good one that I found that has a lot of information that we can go to through this kind of search engine. So Wikipedia cannot be a source that you use. You can only use it as a search engine. You can only use it to use the links that are on its page. So no using Wikipedia. Last but not least, a kind of example of why Wikipedia and some of these ask questions are not trustworthy. Do not use a website like Google Answers. Because if you look here, you got this one, which seems relatively valid. The person is a kindergarten teacher, but you don't know that they're a kindergarten teacher. They're just saying that. They're online. There's lots of lying that happens online. So just like originally, that Ask.com one, this one at least cites where it's getting its information, but it only has one question. You also don't want to go to Google Answers because you don't want a bunch of random people's answers. You want nice professional answers that you are citing so that you sound like you know what you're talking about. Okay? Does this make sense? So, one last time, make sure you cite any website you find. Make sure you're using a website that has more than one answer. Make sure it looks valid, trustworthy, and professional. And no using Wikipedia. When we get down to the media center, you need to make sure that you have your hard source signed off in order to log on to a laptop and start finding internet sources.